Well, we're just a couple of days away from the month of December, and the modelling is certainly creating an interesting look of certainly the CFS V2, the ECMWF as well, and to an extent the GFS in terms of its solution for the month of December. This is the CFS V2 December for the 500 millibar height anomalies, and you can see here a couple of interesting things to note. Very strong positive over Northern Europe, over a big Scandinavian high certainly would be worth looking at. And of course you've also got that ridge of high pressure here over the Atlantic. So one thing fundamentally you look at here is that you're not going to get a pronounced Atlantic influence of over Western Europe if you have this type of setup here, where you've got basically three areas of high pressure: one over the western side of North America, one over Northern Europe, and of course one over the North Atlantic. Essentially, if you really want to seal the deal in terms of cold, you would really want to see that area of high pressure here over the North Atlantic extending up into Greenland. That would essentially completely shut down the Atlantic. But if you have got that area of high pressure over the central North Atlantic with lower heights further north, you tend to have a tendency more of a kind of west northwesterly airflow, which would be a colder and more like kind of unsettled type of setup here for Western Europe and the UK. But nonetheless, this is a very, very interesting solution of the CFS V2. Taking a look at the 850 millibar temperature anomalies, and you can see here that we also have an interesting concept here with reflection of the three ridges of high pressure. You've got over Northern Europe warmth, we've got up over the western side of North America, and we've also got that over the central North Atlantic as well. Where you've got the cold, or where you would expect to see the cold, would be over Western Europe, over the southeastern half of North America, if you've got that set up at 500 millibars here. And certainly at 5,000 feet or 850 millibars, the modelling is seeing some sort of a trough reflection there at that level here. So certainly it is definitely an interesting setup and solution of the modelling. And if you look at the Arctic oscillation, well, one could argue that it is firmly going negative, which, if I'm being honest, a couple of weeks ago I wasn't quite so sure that that would happen. Whether it's the influence of the tropics during the hurricane season or the Madden-Julian oscillation, I do believe that there is definitely tropical forces at play that is allowing this somewhat build-up of high latitude blocking as we go into the month of December. But certainly it looks at least interesting. It's not like last year where we're seeing the polar vortex strengthening, and basically we had just a run of westerly winds across both North America and Europe. This time around it looks as if we're going to see a lot more disruption to the jet stream. The westerlies really from 18,000 feet all the way up into the high stratosphere, the westerly winds are just not that strong, so therefore it doesn't take much for some disruption to take place. Certainly with the Madden-Julian oscillation forcing strong thunderstorms over the Indian Ocean, that would indicate that we are seeing pressure put on the stratospheric polar vortex, at least over the Asian side. Let's have a quick look at that, and we can see what we're looking at here in terms of that overall solution here. So let's look at the 10 millibar heights for the month of December, and you can see here at the very least, yeah, it's not the greatest look, but bear in mind this is the upper stratospheric polar vortex, and if you notice here, it's pushed over towards center generally between Greenland and Scandinavia here. But you notice here, this could be the influence of the Madden-Julian oscillation being in the East Indian Ocean basin and the continental maritime area, where you're getting warming taking place on this side of the pole here. So certainly a lot of interesting things to come, and I hope to have the December outlook and even the winter forecast published over the next couple of days here for you to look at on marvelwindweather.com. Hope you have a great day, and I'll be back in the next few days with more. Bye for now.